So we have opportunities, and this is just a list of industries. So next slide, Cam. So, sorry, life science. So we have 500 plus pharmaceutical companies, local and international companies. This is a market of $22 billion and never stops growing. This is a really, really great market if you are in that industry. It's regulated, yes, it's regulated. But when you look at nutritional supplements, this is an exceptional growth. So with the well-being factor playing an important uh, fact in everybody's lives, so this has an enormous potential to grow. So this is one sector to keep in mind. Next slide, please. Medical equipment and devices. This is the largest market in South America. Healthcare is universal in Brazil. So all healthcare is supposed to be provided by the government, but you cannot treat 210 million people with Medicare or healthcare, free healthcare or Medicare service. So in Brazil, we have private hospitals and we have health plans. It's different from insurance company because we have a mix, a model that derives from the insurance companies, but at the same time, we have healthcare providers like big companies like One Health or United Healthcare based out of the US. They come to Brazil, they buy hospitals, they make agreements with doctors, and they provide services to their members. So, and this is a market that is growing like crazy because they can charge more than inflation. So depending on the demand, annual increases may go up to 10% or 15% because they say that the cost of healthcare is growing above inflation. And this is a great market. So I work with PNC Bank. I do trade financing deals. And in the past year, I financed 20 robots from California. And these 20 robots went to 10 private hospitals in Brazil in 1 year. So this, for example, this is a market that is booming. Because when you consider Brazil, out of the 210 million people, think that 15% of those have the same purchasing power as any developed country. So when you're looking at 210, let's say 15%, 20%, something between 35, 40 million people, they have enough purchasing power to buy anything in the world. So this is a great market. So just keep that in mind. Next slide, please. Food industry. This is growing like the nutritional supplements, healthy food, organic ingredients. In Missouri, we know that there are great equipment suppliers for the food industry, and this is growing. Brazil is one of the top 3 exporters of protein. Brazil is great on beef, chicken, pork, and fishes. So this is a great market. If any of the attendees work in the food industry, this is awesome. If the issue of high tariffs is something that is blocking the entry of American goods to Brazil, I could say that this is wrong because we have so much Alaskan fishes coming to Brazil that this is crazy. This is going wild. What people here are looking for are novelty products. They want innovative products. They want something new to taste, to try, to have an experience. So there are lots of opportunities. If you're looking at the Me Too product, very likely that won't succeed. But if you're looking for something unique, something more innovative, this is the market for that product. Next slide, please. So we have agricultural equipment. This is an agricultural-based economy. So this is huge. Brazil is one of the top two, if not the top exporter of soybeans and corn and grains overall. So this is a huge, huge market with very sophisticated equipment and machinery, all satellite controlled, very precise farming. This is a market that invests a lot of money. Next slide. Brazil is home of Embraer. Embraer is in negotiations with Boeing as we speak. Very likely the civilian side of Embraer is going to be, let's say, merged with Boeing in an acquisition type of agreement, and military aircraft will be left with Embraer for strategic reasons. But what I want to tell you, and what I said in the very beginning about traffic in large cities, is the number of executive jets and helicopters that we have in the metropolitan areas. So São Paulo has the second largest fleet of helicopters and executive jets. Business people don't want to get stuck in traffic, so they take helicopters and fly from one place to another. This is a great market for suppliers of aerospace parts. Next. Chemicals. Even though Brazil is almost self-sufficient, these are some of the chemicals that Brazil imports, and most of these imports come from the US. So this is a great market for large distributors that want to do business here. Next. In terms of IT, ICT, this is a market that is growing like crazy. We have a young population, and we have more mobile cell phone lines than landlines, and this keeps growing. So the last, I think, census, we had approximately 257 million cell phones for 210 million people. So there's more than one cell phone for each individual. Cloud computing is growing, and we see more and more free services of internet available, or free services of Wi-Fi available in the majority of the cities, buses, trains, everywhere. Next slide. So this is a very, very congested map. Kim and Chad asked me to draw a map and pinpoint where the key industries are located. And this is really difficult to do, because we have a diverse industrial base. And as you can see by the big bubbles, São Paulo concentrates most of the business. So if you're looking to visit places in Brazil, you should go after the largest circles. Those are the sites where you're going to find the most diversified industries. And usually what we have in those sites are a combination of all industries together. So you have from IT to healthcare, together with automakers, with suppliers of aerospace parts. They are all concentrated in the large circles. So I can go over details for each of these states, and with more detail if we have more time, and I'll be happy to have calls or emails after the webinar is over. Next slide.